Well, 13 News Now at 4 begins with breaking news on the Outer Banks. There you see it on your screen. Multiple homes have collapsed within about 45 minutes of each other as we track impacts from two hurricanes in the Atlantic. Thanks for joining us. I'm Connor Reel.
And I'm Janet Roach. We want to get right to Alex Littlehales. He's live in Buxton. And Alex, you were there as some of those collapses happened.
Yes, Connor, Janet, I'll speak frankly. In my time as a reporter, this afternoon has been one of the most eye-opening sights in my time as a professional reporter. You mentioned it. Within a roughly 45-minute window, 5 oceanfront houses collapsed here in the Buxton locality of Hatteras Island here on the Outer Banks. So words do more justice, or pictures do more justice than words. I will just have my photographer pan out just to show you the level of debris that is here along the oceanfront here again in Buxton, which is essentially the most southern point here on Hatteras Island. So you're seeing the debris, the splinters, the wood, household items, again, from 5 unoccupied dwellings here along the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. The gap between these two houses over my left shoulder, those were the last 2 houses that fell within 5 minutes of each other around 2:45 this afternoon. When we got here again to the Tower Circle area here on Hatteras Island, 3 houses way off in the distance, over my right shoulder, those collapsed within minutes of each other too. So we're trying to be careful not to essentially step where the debris is, because as you can see all around me, there is a lot of splintered wood, there's pilings, and all of this ocean wash is essentially bringing all of the debris that's hard to really capture with words, but all of this debris that you see behind me just being pushed up from the swells of the ocean back and forth along the ocean front here, along the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. Again, not only wood pilings, but household items like refrigerators, water heaters, just everyday household items. I can see a couple of couches off in the distance. Again, structures, entire structures of homes scattered across the oceanfront beach here on Cape Hatteras National Seashore again. So before today, there were 12 homes within the last 5 years that collapsed, and just today, from the swells from Imelda and Humberto off of the coast in the Atlantic Ocean, 5 houses dropped here just within the last 2 hours. So that is the scene here in Buxton, as there are dozens of spectators here just catching a glimpse of what is, frankly, an astonishing sight, to say the least. Janet, Connor.
All right, yeah, Alex, it looks like there's some homeowners out there are they trying to salvage anything? Is that what's going on?
Well, so what we have found is typically a lot of it's unclear if these are homeowners. A lot of these folks that I've been talking to, they are just visitors here staying on the other side of NC-12. So they're not exactly homeowners per se, but they are those that are staying here in the Buxton, in the town of Buxton here on the Outer Banks. Some we have talked to are homeowners, but they live on other parts of the island. With a lot of these properties that have been condemned for several years, we have found that a lot of times the owners, these were the vacation homes for a lot of people that actually lived maybe in more Midwestern states like Ohio or Illinois. So there's a good chance that the homeowners here of these properties aren't actually here, but they may be coming into town over the next couple of days to assess the damage, coordinating with local agencies on the cleanup itself. But to your point, there are a lot of people up and down the oceanfront here just trying to see this site for themselves.
Okay, well, it's a good thing no one was hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Please be careful out there, Alex. I did want to ask as well, just trying to get a sense of the scope. We see all the debris behind you, but as the swell comes in, it carries debris back and forth. Has that debris made its way out into the water at all, or is it all just concentrated on the shoreline there?
So the debris, you can see it. I'll have my photographer maybe pan over my left shoulder. You can see that the houses are essentially being broken down into essentially what are just the wooden boards, right? So I know it's hard to imagine, but when the houses collapsed about an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, they came into the water essentially intact. And what the waves have done is essentially break them up into the wood boards that you see scattered along the beach. So the boards keep getting pushed back and forth. I'm on a pretty safe spot. This is next to a house that is very much still standing and very much safe. And I chose this spot because in general, apart from a little bit of water overwash, there has not really been debris that has reached me, but it is starting to push into some of the canals that are essentially streets, but they are flooded over with sand. So there is a long-winded way of saying there is essentially just debris everywhere here.
Okay.
Alex,
And you have to wonder about those houses also that are,
Right.
in the water there, close to where he's standing.
Right. As we look in the debris, we see more houses. Alex, that was fantastic reporting. Thank you so much for that, and please stay safe out there.